Anyways, well, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you game number 4, Pike versus Karate on Gladiator. It's going to be a ZVZ, and apparently a long one. I can close this now. So here we go. In the bottom right corner as the red Zerg, we do have Sass and B's Karate. And in the top left as the white Zerg, we have LRM Pike. So let me try and edit my overlay without things exploding this time. Oh, looking good so far, looking good, looking good. And Pike is Z11. He is going to be white. Hey, look at that, perfect. So the map is Gladiator once again. Overlord's going to both scout in the counterclockwise direction, as they should. Scouting towards the closer natural. And let's see, are they going to go for Overlord first? There's an Overlord, and there's an Overlord. Okay, so no 9-pool silliness. Now, in the match on Friday, spoiler alert, Pike actually played in the ace match. It did go to a game 7, and Pike was put up in the ace match against, against Mazur, where he played an epic hour-long PvZ on Aztec, and was in a very nice position, but Mazur somehow pulled out a magical win there. So, well, let's see how he does here against Karate. Spawning pool going down. Now, of course, ZVZ, I think it's a little bit harder to make those kinds of crazy comebacks. And what? What? Okay, so we have an in-base 12 hatch, but he didn't like put it next to his minerals. He put it at the ramp? Pike has built a spawning pool and a gas because, you know, he likes to do things that make sense. Looks like he's gone for an overpool expand. I believe that was an overpool. Yeah, the overpool's quite a way away. Quite a ways away. So, hold on. I'm trying to make sense of this. Because it's not... Like, 12 hatchet in base is fine, but I have never seen this kind of hatchery placement in ZVZ. Does he actually know this is a ZVZ? He must, well, I guess this hatchery placement doesn't make sense in any matchup, I think. I'm pretty sure that actually doesn't make sense in any matchup, so even if he thinks it's some other matchup, this is... Well, let's see what he does with this. I mean, 12 hatch. Okay, let me tell you guys what's up. Looks like he stopped mining gas, just for speed. You know, 12 hatch. It's you either place it at your natural, obviously, as an expansion, or you put it in your main because then you can defend it more easily. I think you actually might even mine slightly more efficiently, like from the bottom patch, because you return it to the other hatchery. But placing here makes very little sense. Now he is actually going for the buy great build, the 3 hatchery, massling plus spore colony build. But the hatchery positioning still makes little sense. I suppose, like, if this was ZVT, I'd be like, okay, you can hide tech here, but I mean, it's ZVC. Unless he goes for some kind of 3-hatch Hydra build and he's gonna like hide the Hydra den here, that's just a really interesting... Actually, I mean, I guess it also gives him creep here so he can put a sunken on the bottom if he wanted to, but I don't know why he'd put a sunken on the bottom. As you can see, it is a reverse ramp map. So it's almost like, you know what this actually reminds me of? This reminds me of a 2v2 Zerg, but hold that thought, there's a big Zergling engagement and it looks like Pike is actually going to take it despite being behind on the larva count. But with the reinforcements from 2 hatcheries, Karate should be able to hold this hatchery, but actually, look at this, Pike doing a nice job just targeting the hatchery with 3 Zerglings and using the rest to zone out. Karate's Lings looks like a few drones coming off the line here, and Karate, can he save the hatchery? It's very close, it's 200 HP. It looks like, no, he will barely save the hatchery, but so much damage done to that hatchery so far. And there goes the Spire for Pike. So, anyway, what I was saying earlier was that, you know, in 2v2 Zerg play, you oftentimes do put the hatchery here by your ramp so that you can actually just sunken at the top of your ramp and just block it. But that's like on a normal ramped map. This is reverse ramp, and obviously it's not a 2v2, so I'm not really sure about that. Looks like Pike will barely, I think the link count, Karate might have barely one more ling, but Pike is going to back up. Obviously with the shorter reinforcement route and the 3 hatches, which... Sky, you are M-banned, and apparently I'm not on D&D anymore because I had to rejoin Fish. Spire is down, or rather it's almost done. And there's no Spore Colony just yet, or rather there's no Evolution Chamber just yet. There needs to be. Is he really not gonna make Spore Colony? Or Evolution Chamber? He has to, or he's gonna die. You're gonna die, man. I think he's gonna make it here to wall off. Yep. So obviously this will help against any Ling attacks later on. And there is the first Creep Colony going down. You put it a little bit far away from the hatchery though, which is gonna make it... I guess if he makes this a Spore... I mean, like, for, like... See, now that I think about it, that means this, yeah, look at this. This hatchery positioning is even worse because now he has to build even more spores to cover everything. Because look at this. Okay, let's say he makes all these 3 into spores. I'm pretty sure Mutas can sit here and shoot the hatchery without being hit. Like, can shoot right here and shoot the hatchery. And holy check, that is a lot of creep colonies. Is he? Hold on, let's take a look at the drone count. Looks like Pike's actually stopped mining gas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drones against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Karate actually has a substantial drone advantage despite making a trillion creep colonies. It's also sending out random Zerglings just to check for a third base of Pike, which I think is a good idea considering he sees the lack of gas. Oh no, it looks like Pike did put guys back on gas, but I mean, that was definitely a calculated move to get a few extra drones out. Yeah, you see the drone count is actually looking a lot more healthy now for Pike. So yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see how Karate follows this up. He actually hasn't even made this into a sport yet. I guess that's intentional. And another creep colony going down in the back here. So I think that might now prevent the Mutas from just camping here. But it's interesting how he only defends his main with a single spore colony and he defends his natural with 3. It's actually quite funny. Just Pike is doing some overload hunting here, making a ton of drones. One random Zergling does run into the main. No upgrade just yet. I would like to see an upgrade from Pike. I mean, you know, with all these spore colonies, he's not gonna be able to bust it with just Mutas anytime soon. So he should invest for, you know, in the long game and get an upgrade. Now, Karate's still not mining gas. He's actually just gonna make pure drones and creep colonies. He does have a sunken now as well. I think that's a good idea, but that's actually crazy. Look at this, Pike taking a second gas. And Karate has not mined anything beyond the 100 gas he needed for Zergling speed. Look at this, he's actually making so many drones. Oh my god, Karate's going crazy here. This is like the ZVZ version of a 5-hatch Hydra build. This is actually just silly how many drones he's making. And oh my god, look at this, Pike! Pike knows what's up. And by knows what's up, I mean, what the heck? Why is he making a Hydra then? I guess the response to too many spore colonies to make a Hydra. Oh, that actually became a sunken. Oh. Okay. Man, this is like the weirdest ZVZ I've seen. Now, Sky says Karate is going for 4-hatch Hydra 2-2 push. And Pike's gonna have lurkers, so that's actually not gonna work at all. Lurkers are actually really good against Hydras. For anyone anyone who has played fastest knows mass Hydra doesn't really work against lurkers. Anyway, another random Ling just checking out for a third. We do have Lings of Pike as well, doing some nice scouting. And it looks like, I mean, so far, it's as Sky says. There are 4 hatches. The lair is now going down. It's like the weirdest base in a ZVZ ever. He's getting a second evolution chamber. Is he getting double upgrades? Like, what? Oh my god. My mind is not computing. We do have a Queen's Nest down for Pike. So Pike has gone for Lurker into Hive Tech in a ZVZ? I'm sorry guys, I'm so confused. Like I'm trying to think of something really smart to say, like, oh, this is what he's doing. That makes perfect sense, but nothing about either of these builds makes any sense, let alone perfect sense. And it looks like Karate, or rather Pike finds the little corner that I was talking about. You see? You see, I told you guys. At least, okay, so I did actually say something smart, which is good. And apparently this drone somehow glitched itself through the minerals and is now trapped. Pike should have actually let that live just because it's funny. But no, it looks like he's gonna fly away now. And we do have ranged attack and possibly Carapace. There's Carapace. There's a Queen's Nest going down. He's still making drones. He's still making drones. He's only making drones. Karate's just making drones like a boss. Another hatchery going down. Hive going down as well. And okay, there's the Hydra Den. But look at this base. Have you ever seen a base like this in a ZVZ? Has anybody ever seen a base? Jesus, this series is just crazy. Infested command centers. Double Spire Muta versus Protoss. And now ZVZ with, I don't even know what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spore colonies. He's got like an entire control group of spore colonies. That's right. If you could hockey buildings, he would have an entire control group of spore colonies. Looks like a bunch of Sunkens going down now. Lurkers are on the way. Now Pike, if he goes for Lurker Defiler, that'll actually be very, very effective. As Zero and Great showed us, the way to play Hive Tech ZVZ in like the super late game is actually to go Defiler Lurker, because basically, you know, once you get the plagues and the ensnares out, the mass mutas are much less effective just to how much they clump, how much they stack. So you kind of switch into ground units, and under Dark Swarm, the only units that can kill lurkers are other lurkers, lings, and ultralisks. And lings are terrible against lurkers. Lurkers on lurkers, obviously, if you start burrowed, then the other guy can't really attack you unless he has way more. And looks like this queen has parasited a mutalisk. I don't know where this was going anyway. Are these actually scouting queens? He just went scouting queens, and he's now getting hydras. Now, this combination could be quite good. Ensnare on the mutas, and then using the hydras to attack them. I mean,